The homeowner and auto insurance market, I'm not telling you anything if you've already received a cancel notice or a non-renewal, as they like to call it in the industry, on your homeowners, or you've seen these big increases. And Allstate, just as I told you last year, is doing these very, very, very large increases around the country. Allstate underwrote poorly. They made very poor underwriting decisions on both auto and homeowners, and Allstate's been losing billions. And so they are charging at renewal in states that permit, which most do, increases that it's not at all unusual to see a 40% premium increase. And then for homeowners, we know the usual suspects, state of Florida and other coastal areas along the Gulf Coast and a little bit along the Atlantic, particularly the state of North Carolina, parts of South Carolina. People are having a lot of trouble with their homeowners getting canceled, but now, or non-renewed. Now in state after state around the country, insurers are now doing it by zip code. I saw a story in the Wall Street Journal about how many people in places that historically had not had these problems are getting non-renewed, or they're buying a house and then they have trouble finding homeowners insurance for it because the insurers are like, we're not on a mission to go out of business. And the claims level, because of increasing storm activity and the calamitous losses the industry, and this Wall Street Journal story about the losses insurers are suffering. And just last year, insurers lost $32 billion collectively, $32 billion on writing insurance. The last year they even were marginally profitable was in 20. And 22, insurers lost $26 billion collectively. And so they're like, hey, this isn't working for us. And so they're leaving entire areas, or they're becoming very difficult to do business with in smaller areas. And the losses, the last 2 years, is to weather, this isn't the net loss, this is the losses, $150 billion each year the last 2 years. And you go back to even 10 years ago and prior, the losses were so much smaller year after year, 1/6 of what they are now. So we are in a time, I'm not going to get into the whole political thing about is this because of climate change or anything like that. I don't have to get into that. The fact is the claims are going up for whatever reason, and let's just leave it at that. And then what's happened the last few years is auto's been in the mix too because of all the disruptions to supply chain that happened during COVID. And so when an insurer was having to pay off for an accident, particularly a totaled vehicle, the cost of that payout to their own insured or to other party, if their insured was at fault for a totaled car, was so much higher because of the shortage of used cars led to the big run up in what they were having to pay out. And then when they were repairing a car, because of the part shortages, the time they were having to have an insured in a rental car or the other party in a rental car, and the time to repair and the cost of repair way up. So there is a legitimate problem right now in the homeowner and auto insurance business for the insurers that then in turn creates a problem for you and me. And when you're buying a house, you want to make sure that you can afford and get affordable homeowners insurance for that home because the costs have gone up so much. People buying condominiums in Florida or living in condominiums in Florida are finding that the monthly association dues are having to go up quite a bit because of how much the association is having to pay for the association portion of the condominium insurance that you have to have. So this is a cyclical problem. So all I've told you is problem. So where do you and I fit? This is a train wreck, and it's coming at us. So how do we not get hurt as badly? Because that's what we're talking about here. I can't prevent it. I can only tell you how to not get hurt as badly. Number one, don't do what we keep getting calls from people about in our Team Clark Consumer Action Center. I'm thinking of, I own my home free and clear, which about a third of people do. So the homeowner's insurance is so expensive, I think I'm just going to go without. Bad idea. Bad idea, because if you have a catastrophic loss at your home, you lose what you spent all those years building up, the asset of owning your home free and clear. It gets wiped out. That value is wiped out. But that's not even the biggest problem for somebody who owns your home free and clear not carrying homeowners insurance. Something that came up on a podcast last week is the liability risk. Somebody gets hurt on your property and you get sued and you have no insurance. You could get wiped out or severely impacted, maybe even forced into a bankruptcy after you've spent a lifetime building up all these assets. You don't want to take that level of risk. So you at least want to have a policy with extremely high deductibles, but enough liability insurance to protect yourself. And you do not file claims. If you're facing a higher premium, take higher deductibles. And the only purpose of that homeowner's insurance, the only purpose is catastrophic loss, period. If you have a mortgage on your home, there may be a limit to how much of a deductible you can have. So you have to talk to the mortgage lender and find out what the maximum you can have your deductibles. But that makes you a lower risk profile to your insurer. When they see you're taking that high deductible, you're looked at differently because they don't have to worry that you're going to be trying to file claims. And as high as you can afford, if you own your home free and clear, take that high deductible. And they're more likely to renew you. They're more likely to write that policy, even in higher risk areas. And otherwise, you get stuck with the insurer of last resort that states have had to establish. On auto, highest deductible, if you have a loan, highest deductible your lender will permit that gets you to a price break point. And on auto, you can still shop around. Shop the auto market to look for the best deal you can get. Most people never shop their auto insurance. As you face renewal, shop it.